for strengthening integration of safe, effective and high quality care. I, Hina Navesh, and our children are the MCs of today's workshop. It's a great pleasure and privilege to be the host of this program. Before we get started, I would like to express my gratitude towards Rosalie Nimble ma'am as she is the chief guest and arrived the time before. So I heartily welcome you all in the BCA campus. So let's welcome our dignitaries on the dais. I request Ms. Palak to escort Professor Rosalie Nimble, Principal, Sahara College of Nursing, Paramedical Science, Lucknow, as the chief guest of our program. Please give a huge round of applause. I request Ms. Shivani to escort Sister Soumya Jose, Vice Provincial of Holy Cross Congregation, North Indian Province, Professor of PCM College of Nursing. Please give a huge round of applause. I request Ms. Shreya to escort Sister Maggie Jose, Principal, PCM College of Nursing and patron of the workshop. Please give a huge round of applause. I request Ms. Harshita to escort Sister Rani, Advocate Program Mrs. Praviti and Dhruv, kindly be seated. To accomplish great things, we must not only act but also dream. Not only plan but also believe. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Nishi Leons, Organizing Secretary, to welcome the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais, office bearers, respected teachers, sisters, delegates, media members, organizers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. I, Nishi Leons, Organizing Secretary, feels a great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all in Bishop Conrad Memorial Campus. We are immensely gratified to host this workshop today in our campus and to have you all here adds more bliss to it. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is truly an honor. Quoting this, I would like to extend a very special welcome to our chief guest, Ma'am Rosalie Nirmal, Principal, Sahara College of Nursing, Lucknow, and one of our eminent spokesperson as well, a vividly inspiring personality. We warmly welcome you, ma'am. A huge round of applause, please. Thank you, Ms. Shruti. Filling our event with soulful and blissful aura, we have with us Dr. Father Denny Matthew, CMI, Principal, Sacred Heart Degree College, Nepalapur. We are truly overwhelmed to have you as our spokesperson today. We gently welcome you, Father. He'll be arriving soon. It is a delightful moment to welcome Sister Soumya, Vice Provincial, Professor, BCM College of Nursing. We are highly privileged that you are adding more value to us by being our spokesperson. Represent the most regardful welcome to you, Sister. A huge round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Shivani, the one who acts as a pillar of support and strength with a clear vision and passion intertwined with novelty in all activities of the college is our Honorable Principal, Sister Maggie. It is my utmost honor to welcome you here, Sister. We present you the greatest regards and blissful welcome. Thank you, Ms. Shivani. Making time from the most strenuous schedule and joining us today. We are highly fortunate to have with us Dr. Kuldeep Narayan Pandey, sir, CMO, BCM Hospital. We courteously welcome you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Jyoti, the best supporter of all challenging ventures taken by our college and us throughout this workshop. We are enlightened by the presence of our Vice Principal and Organizing Chairperson, Sister Jerry. We cordially welcome you, Sister. We are truly honored to have you. You actually added more essence to it. A very huge round of applause, audience. I take this opportunity as a great moment of privilege to present a gentle welcome to Sir Libin Joseph, Associate Professor, BCM College of Nursing, for being here and adding more value as being our spokesperson. We warmly and delightfully welcome you, sir. a Chanel welcome to all respected sisters and teachers for adding to the workshop with their esteemed presence. We are fortunate to have the support of great cadre of sponsors whom I hope you will get to meet during the ad breaks. A workshop is an opportunity to teach and learn from each other. Keeping in mind this notion, I offer the most affable welcome to all the delegates, online and offline, for joining us. Without your presence, we could not imagine this event a possible success. So one huge round of applause for yourself also. I believe this day you will be able to learn the most, take the most and grow the best. Once again, a very hearty welcome to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nishi, for your heartwarming welcome. A lamp does not speak. It introduces itself through its light. Achievers never expose themselves, but their achievement exposed them. So I would like to invite Professor Rosalie Nirmal, Sister Soumya Jose, Sir Libin Joseph, Sister Maggie, Sister Jenny, Dr. K. N. Pandey, and Ms. Missy Leos to light the lamp. Thank you, respected dignitaries. Kindly take your respective seats. It is an auspicious time for us to declare officially the theme of our workshop. I would like to invite our principal, Sister Maggie Jose, to unveil the theme.
A very good morning to all present over here. Respected Chief Guest, Ms. Rosalie Nirmal, Principal, Sahara College of Nursing, Sister Soumya, our Vice Provincial, Dr. K. N. Pandey, Medical Superintendent, ECM Hospital, Mr. Libin Joseph, Associate Professor, ECM College of Nursing, Sister Jenny, Vice Principal and Organizing Chairperson, ECM College of Nursing, Ms. Missy Leons, Organizing Secretary, and all the invited guests, delegates, sisters, staff and students of our college. I warmly welcome you all to this one-day workshop. The World Health Assembly had designated 2020 as the International Year of Nurse and Midwife. The WHO report on the advance in nursing practice and educate the nursing workforce for future. Leadership is a process by which a person influences others to accomplish an objective and directs the organization in a way that makes it more cohesive and coherent. Governance is the process of decision making and the process by which decisions are implemented or not implemented. Without effective leadership and good governance at all levels, in private, public and civil organizations, it is virtually impossible to achieve and to sustain effective administration, to achieve goals, to sustain quality and deliver first-rate services. The increasing complexities and requirements arising from the constant changes in society, coupled with the constant push for higher levels of proficiency and productivity, require effective and ethical leadership. Good governance and effective ethical leadership are the essential requirements for an organization to be considered successful in the eyes of all stakeholders in the 21st century. The current workshop focuses on challenges of nurse leaders to meet the demand of quality in nursing education and service respectively. Investment in capacity building of nurses will definitely enhance the leadership skills in managing healthcare challenges at various levels. Keeping these thoughts vivid in our minds, I wish God's blessings upon the success of this workshop. Wishing all the very best for all the organizers, speakers, and a pleasant atmosphere of interaction for all delegates, I declare that the workshop is opened on the theme, the impact of governance, leadership and policy, optimizing nursing education and service. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Sister Mary. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. It is an emotion to human power. It's my honor to invite Professor Rosalie Nirmal, Chief Guest of our workshop, for the keynote address.
A very good morning, all the dignitaries on dais and off the dais, and all the audience who are present here, especially the sisters, the doctors, and all other audience present here. So it's my privilege to be a part of this particular workshop, and I really congratulate the team of BCM College of Nursing, especially the principal, Sister Maggie Jose, and Vice Principal, Sister Jerry Ausep, and all other organizing persons or the committee members. It's a very good topic or a wonderful topic or very amazing topic, we can say, as per the need of this era. It is governance, leadership and policy to optimize the nursing, education and services. So we all know the nursing, it is an age-old profession, and with, of course, the modern nursing, with influence of Florence Nightingale, now it is with the competency-based education as it reforms from that caring and healing. It was previously or in the beginning, we knew it is like healing and caring nursing, but it has improved or transformed from that nurses. But again, when we talk the competency-based education, how we can impart, how we can involve our nurses in the leadership and also in decision-making, planning, implementation and evaluation in healthcare settings or the healthcare nursing. Healthcare system where nursing care is one of the most important aspects. So nurses, of course, we all know nurses are silent workers. They will learn, they may be in that particular first level nurse, but she will learn everything which is required for the patient care or wherever she is standing. She may be an educator, she may be in the community health, she may be a new learner or a new beginner in any practice setting. She will learn whatever is required to that particular need of that hospital or the patient care or to that particular locality. Like we know, we all, when we learned, there was no internet, there was no social media, there was no mobiles, nothing. But we all learned the basic nursing through, maybe we were with the patient, we concentrated more on the therapeutic communication, human touch, love, all those things. But now, it is the machineries, the technology is coming up with so much of efficient nursing care with that particular use of technologies. So our nurses, they are learning that also. But again, when we just see the ground level, we can see there are not many nursing leaders we can see who can take a decision or who are involved in the nursing decision making, the strategic planning or the planning for the nursing care, the hospital care, because everything depends on the organization management where very few nurses are involved. So this is a challenge, how we can integrate our education and practice through proper decision making or proper policies which can enhance our learning. How the nurses can involve in the nursing practice care with education and services. How we can help our budding nurses. So this is one of the major issues today, and this workshop will throw light into this particular topic. There are many resource person speakers, they will throw light on this particular topic. How we can improve, how we can find some solution where the nursing leaders will be involving so that we can prepare maybe more nursing leaders, all these budding nurses. They are expected to take care of many things, not only the patient care. They are expected to take the management, she is expected to take care of everything like a collaborative care, in a collaborative setting. So how we can prepare them? Because to prepare the new budding nurses, we need more leaders in nursing care or nursing colleges or nursing services everywhere, so that they can involve in the planning, decision making and also implementing and evaluation of the particular system of nursing education, the services and integration. How we can provide that particular integration in the education, that may be in many specialties. How we can train our nurses so that they will be proficient. Of course, to train nowadays we have that change curriculum where we use the skill lab, mannequins, simulation techniques so that the students can be more
कट जाते हैं ना।
So good morning all of you. Those of you are here as well as those who are attending online. So before I begin, just few questions to you. Because already in the welcoming address, we heard that we are going to learn from each other, right? So we are here to learn from each other. Do you all believe that we are all leaders? How many of you believe that we are all leaders? Most of you, right? Very good. So leaders are born or made? Made or born? So you believe that and I respect it. So today we will be learning about the operational analysis on governance and leadership that is influencing the nursing profession. So before I proceed, I just want to show you few slides, the pictures, and then just let me know whether you are aware of it. What do you think this is? This is one style of leadership. It is transformational leadership. There, the leader works with the team, gives reward, recognition, and work with the team, collaborate with the team. Now we have a servant leadership style. So we have a great model here, our Lord Jesus. Here the leader is not worried about himself or herself, but the other, his team members, and here we as nurses are patients. And then here we have another model, that is transactional leadership. There we have a reward system as well as punishment system. Here, this is a very good poster, right? As leaders, if we can relax like this. So this is laissez-faire leadership style. And here the leader gives responsibility to the team members and then believe that they will do it better. But here we need highly skilled team members. Otherwise there can be a lot of confusions. So here you don't need a lot of monitoring or supervision if you have a highly skilled team members. Then we have an autocratic leadership style. Then here the leader is in front and very hard and fast with the very hard and fast rules and then very strict, and the leader expects that the team members should follow whatever the leader says. Now this kind of leadership is very much applicable when there is an emergency situation like in code red, code blue situations. So there is a lot of command is needed. So in this situation, this autocratic type of leadership is important or applicable. But the team members may not be very much happy with that because they are not able to provide their own ideas and views. So that is the only drawback. So as nurses, we need to understand and choose what is the best leadership style that we can follow in our nursing profession. Now there is another kind of leadership style, that is the managerial grid. So what happens here? The managerial grid is a leadership model that was developed by Robert R. Blake and Jane Newton in 1960s. Is the slide visible for you? Okay, I'll just explain to it. So the first one is impoverished management. So what happens here is the management does not have much concern for the
people or the team members or the outcome. They are least bothered about that. So that is impoverished management. The term itself explains that. Then we have country club management. Here we have high concern for the people, but you are not worried about the outcome. Then we have middle of the road management. It is like 50-50. So you have a medium concern for your people as well as a medium concern for the outcome. Then we have task management. That is low concern for the people and as well as low concern for the outcome. So you are not expecting a big outcome from your team members. Then you have team management. They are highly concerned for the people and highly concerned about the outcome. So, listening to so far, I feel that you will be liking to work under what kind of leadership, what style of leadership? Highly concerned for the people and highly concerned for the outcome. That is why we are here learning these principles. So today we are going to discuss about how leadership and governance is interconnected or interrelated. So only through a proper governance, leadership can be successful. So the governance is like a framework that enables the organization to function very efficiently and responsibly. So we need both leadership as well as the governance. So in this we have few points: the policy implementation, resource allocation, professional development, organizational culture and advocacy. We'll just go through each point a little bit. So the governance and leadership can be successful only if we can have proper policies and structures or procedures in place. Now policies are set rules or principles and guidelines. Now in our working field we have come across with many policies like initial assessment policy, where the nurses will do a proper assessment of the patient during the initial stage of the admission. You have a head-to-toe assessment and then you have to also record, because whatever is not documented is not done. So we have to have the policy. So one of the policies, it is initial assessment policy, and also you can have discharge policies, admission policies, restraint policies. So these are the few examples. Now why are these policies are in place? Because these are the guidelines that will direct our functioning or the daily functioning of our profession. Now the policy is a process of translating the objectives and goals of a policy into action. That is policy implementation, and it determines the success or failure of the policy initiatives. Now when we talk about patient safety, nursing education, professional practices, these are policies related to. And then this ensures that there is an adequate training is given to our nurses or our employees, our team members, and the necessary resources are provided in order to provide high quality care. Now in order to, the policy implementation involves putting in place the necessary structures, resources and the process. Then only we can effectively execute their intended and get the intended outcome. Now in the policy implementation, we need strong leadership. efficient management and also effective communication. Now, for example, if we are going for an electronic health record system, so in order to implement this one, first of all, we have to have a planning, and then we have to have the stakeholders, and we have to have tie-up with the IT vendors, and then contracts are made with them, and then we proceed. And also there should be a proper discussion with the team members or those who are involved in the care of the patients, and then what is their views about it. So discussing all this, considering all this, we go forward it, and then there can be a lot of problems that we will be facing while implementing. When we were working, when the electronic health record were implementing, some of the nurses left because they were not able to cope up with it. So these also, we can face these kind of challenges also. But then for that, the team members or the employees, they should be given proper training. Then they can stand with us, and then we go forward with it because we foresee a lot of positive outcomes. That is paperless system, easily accessible, and the time, we can save the time. So considering all the positive outcomes, we take the challenges and go forward. So in policy implementation, we will be having a lot of challenges, but we have to be ready to face it. Now in the key elements of policy implementation, so we have to have a clear, measurable goals. So this has to be tracked, evaluated. Once the policy is implemented, we have to evaluate and see how it is functioning. Is it giving a good outcome? So there should be a tracking system and the evaluation. Also there should be adequate resources like financial resources, human resources, and also technological support is needed. Then effective communication. So what are the goals and objectives of the policy? That has to be very clearly told to the team members. Then collaboration and stakeholder engagement, because their views are also taken into account. And then monitoring and evaluation. We need to measure the progress, identify if there are any challenges, and we have to also make necessary adjustments. When we do the resource allocation, it influences the decisions of staffing levels, funding, and also the equipment, the recent medical equipments. When we bring the recent medical equipments, we also have to see that there are a lot of in-service educations are given related to it. That all should be knowing how to use it. And also the medical researches that are done in order to bring about evidence-based practices and also best possible care to the patients. Now, for example, in COVID-19 situation, what happened? We were all not ready, we were not prepared to face this challenge in 2019. But now we are prepared. So how we are allocating the resources for this particular disaster. We have to manage this particular pandemic situation. Now there are also factors influencing the resources allocation, the policies. So how healthcare is accessible to the vulnerable population, and then what is the demand in the market. So patients who are coming to us, in the business terms we say customers, our customers. So how are we treating them? What kind of service are we providing to them? Now in the corporate setup, you can see that patient executives are there. So they are highly qualified and highly mannered. So they take care of the entire thing when a patient and the family enters to the hospital or the healthcare setting. Now disparity also can come because there can be in the remote villages or from the different ethnic backgrounds, people are not able to afford the health care. introducing the uniform care. Now in the resource allocation, there should be a careful planning, effective management and equitable distribution to ensure the best outcome for patients in the healthcare system. Now we have professional development. So this is one of the example for a professional development. Workshop, online courses, seminars and then the latest clinical practices and research. So that the nurses should be up to date with the latest clinical practices and also they should be involved in the researches. The mentoring programs, job shadowing and leadership training. So this is one of the way we can train our nurses to become better leaders. Also to prepare them for the various leadership roles. Provide opportunities for career growth and job satisfaction. So the organization should take initiatives to train their resources, the human resources. Then what is the outcome? Once when we have highly skilled resources, we can perform better. Also to develop their skills. So workforce competence is very important for the proper functioning of the organization. Now we have the organization culture. Organization culture is mainly the shared values, beliefs, attitudes and behaviors of our employees. So how we prioritize the care. So our ultimate aim is patient safety, quality care for the best possible way. And also we need to support a positive work environment that can reduce burnout and turnover. I hope you understand the word turnover, right? So it is one of the quality indicators, that is turnover rate. How the nurse, it depends on how the satisfaction level of the employees. So if you are not satisfied, you will be going from one organization to the other. So all the energy that you have spent, all the resources that you have spent for their professional development and training is it's not of a waste, but you are losing it. So you need to retain your employees by giving them proper training and utilize their best possible skills from them. Now one of the example for the organizational culture is patient-centered care. So how we prioritize the need and then how we work with our team members. So in healthcare we have nurses, doctors, paramedicals, physiotherapists, occupational therapists. So there are many who are involved in the healthcare. So how we work together, how we collaborate with them in order to provide high quality care. And also, so these are reflected in our policies, procedures and also the policies, procedures and the practices of the organization. So the organization should have a policy and that employees are supposed to follow that. And then in order to ensure that patients should get a tailored care for them, we need to also see that proper training and then clinical competence and teamwork is developed. Now there are also in the patient-centered culture, how we can improve this is by improving their physical environment. So the rooms are designed, so that should improve or increase the healing and recovery environment for the patient. And also by providing the quality care, we can bring about significant patient outcome. Now when we talk about the quality care, we have the accreditation. We will be talking about that one later. The NABH accreditation, the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals. It is mainly for the quality improvement and quality assurance. And then the values and behavior with which our employees are functioning, that can have an impact patient's outcome. Now, in the organizational culture, the other important factors are job satisfaction. Then we need to also reduce healthcare costs, organizational performance, and retaining the employees. So we discussed already how we can retain the employees, then how the organization will perform if they are highly qualified and trained well. And then job satisfaction. So you give all kinds of training and then a healthy work environment and then staffing levels are equally distributed. So you will have a job satisfaction that will retain your employees into the organization. And also we can reduce health care cost because the unnecessary wastages has to be avoided or prevented. Another function as nurses is advocacy. So we can advocate local, national and international levels. So the nurses should be aware that we can be or we should be the advocates for our patients. And then so this awareness has to be given to the patients by the organization. And also lobbying for nursing education and research funding. So there should be a fund allocated for the researchers that nurses can get involved with it. And that can bring quality of the nursing care. Now we know various research topics. So that can improve the quality of the nursing care because we use the evidence-based practice. Then promoting the values of nursing programs. So the public should be aware of the contributions that the nurses are making to the healthcare ministry or the industry. The nurses representatives for representation of in policy making. So when the nurses are involved in the policy making, the organization will be able to understand what are the real needs from the nurses' perspective. And also they can also take the ownership because I am also involved in this policy making. So I am also responsible for this implementation and bring the best outcome. Then support professional development for the nurses. That is mainly the training, education and the career development. And addressing workforce issues. What are the issues of our employees that they are coming across in their daily functioning? So there can be nursing shortages, burnout, workplace violence we can expect, and then we also need to see, as we discussed earlier, reduce the turnover rate by increasing their satisfaction level and provide quality care. So now we see governance in nursing education and practice. So it refers to the policies and structures and processes that are in place. So effective governance is essential for ensuring that nurses are adequately trained, competent and able to provide safe and effective care to their patients. Now, what are the key aspects in nursing governance in nursing education and practice? Accreditation, regulation, curriculum development, continuing education, professional standards. So in the accreditation we already saw. Now we can go with along with the NABH accreditation. There is also nursing excellence. So there are many set standards and objectives. We need to meet those standards in order to obtain the nursing excellence. And also the regulation bodies. So state board of nursing, they set standard of practice. Like what are the scope of practice for the nurses. With their qualification, job specification and then the qualification, how can they perform various procedures. Now we have seen standard of operating procedures, SOPs. For all the procedures that we perform, there is an SOP, supposed to be an SOP, that is standard of operating procedures. So here, what is the scope of service or scope of nursing profession according to your job specification and the qualification? Then curriculum development. What are the needs that are arising in the present scenario so that the curriculum is designed accordingly so that the nurses can get the best practices and the training. Then the professional standards and the professional behavior. So you are supposed to keep the code of ethics. All the employees in the organization are supposed to keep up the code of ethics. That is the principles and the values that is expected from each employee. So the effective governance is essential for ensuring that nursing education and practice are of highest quality and meet the needs of the healthcare system. And then we need to have a lot of collaboration between the educators, healthcare providers, regulatory bodies. These are all critical for ensuring governance in effective and then meets the needs of all the stakeholders. So the nursing schools and the hospitals work together. You have affiliations with various hospitals or organizations. So there should be a lot of collaboration between the nurse educators and the administrators. So this is in order to provide a healthy work environment. What are the roles of the organization? So there should be an open communication. So transparency always builds trust. So unless you have the trust, you will not be able to be effective in your work areas. So there should be a build on trust and then promote positive work environment. There should be open dialogues. So the leaders must give an open forum for the team members or the employees to view their opinions, suggestions, and then there should be transparency maintained so that you can work together with the building up of trust. The culture of learning and growth. So the organization should make sure that there is a culture for learning and growth in the environment. There should be a lot of recognition and appreciation for the work you are doing. Unless you give a positive incentive, you will not be able to function well. So there should be recognition and appreciation for what you are doing. Then emphasis on the well-being of the employees. So there can be also some leisure activities, lifestyle clinics, exercise regimen. So these all boost the energy of the employees so that they can function well. There can be a proper functioning atmosphere. Now how can we promote innovation and modern nursing? The leadership and governance, how can they promote innovation and modern nursing? So there can be fostering a culture of innovation. So there should be room for the employees to think in a very innovative way, bring out new ideas and also take risks. They should be encouraged to take risks in order to bring about good outcomes. And then investing in technology and infrastructure. For example, now if you are going for the electronic health record, there should be technical support and also there should be proper resources to function. Otherwise, we will be handicapped. And also the equipment has to be available. If you are asked to do something and if the organization does not provide the equipment and the resources that are needed, how will you function? So now we think from their point of view and then we have to also place ourselves in their shoes and think. And then collaboration and partnership. especially in the healthcare, we have to engage our patients and family so that we can function well. Then supporting nurse-led innovation. So we also have to, as we discussed earlier, encourage the nurses to be actively participating in the research programs. Now, how the leadership and governance can work for the success of nursing practice in education. So here there is a effective communication strategy. So we discussed already how can we have an open communication, effective communication. So the nurses should be trained the soft skills, how you can communicate with your patients and their families. So this is about the conflict resolution. So the nurses should be given chances to train themselves or get trained for the conflict resolution strategies. Collaboration and the teamwork. Here mentoring or the preceptorship. Now when a new employee comes, there should be a culture of preceptorship. That is the highly skilled or the senior nurses accompanying the new employees to give them orientation. So it is like all throughout the day, from morning till evening or according to the shift hours, you have somebody always giving you mentorship or the preceptorship so that you can clarify any doubts. You are accompanied, so less chances of making errors, and then you will build up a lot of confidence and trust. So there should be also room for creativity and the innovation. So there can be innovation competitions in order to encourage the nurses or the employees to come up with new ideas. And then there should be a clear vision and strategy. So what is a vision? What we are looking for. So what are we going to accomplish or attain? Mission, what we are presently doing, or at present what are we doing. And also there should be quality policies accompanying it. And there should be also the strategic, systematic planning for the patient care. Then the most important thing, ethical leadership. So how you are maintaining the ethical leadership or the transparency in all our behaviors, in all our dealings. So for an organization, in order to be transparent, they can always, like for example, the tariff rates are explained or displayed for the public. So the patients are aware, but there is nothing to hide from the general population or the customers, because we are transparent in our dealings. There is no discrimination is shown in our dealings. So there should be, the transparency has to be maintained. And then the goals and objectives or the vision, mission, policy, strategic planning, all these will help in order to achieve our goals and objectives for the better performance of the mission. So in conclusion, governance and leadership play a significant role in shaping the nursing profession. The analytical operation that we have just said, how the governance and the leadership are interrelated and interconnected. So that will reveal what are the situations where we have the rooms for improvement. Unless we analyze and see, we will not be able to know what are the effective ways we are functioning and what are the rooms for improvement. So analytical operations can help identify areas for improvement and guide effective decision making to enhance the quality of nursing care and improve patient outcomes. So as leaders or the future leaders, we are supposed to
Sister for sharing us this knowledge. In appreciation for the time and valuable input you have shared with us all today, we'd like to present you memento as an effort of appreciation. I'd like to call upon Sister Jerry, Vice Principal, to felicitate Sister Soumya.
Thank you, Sister Jenny and Sister Soumya. The second session. For the second session, I would like to invite Ms. Chandni to introduce the speaker of the session. A very good morning, everyone. Better than 1,000 days of a diligent study is one day with a great professor. So our next speaker, Sir Libin Joseph, Associate Professor and HOD of Department Medical Surgical Nursing in BCN College of Nursing. He has completed his primary and secondary education from Kerala State, BSc Nursing from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science, Bangalore in 2009, MSc Nursing from the same university in 2013. He worked as a registered nurse in Dr. D.Y. Patil Medical College, Hospital and Research Center in Pune. He has worked in colleges like Gain College of Nursing in Nasik, Maharashtra, Bohra Institute of Health Sciences, Lucknow, IPMS, Institute of the Paramedical Sciences, Lucknow. In the year 2016, he joined BCN College of Nursing as an assistant professor. He has attended many workshops, seminars at different levels. Currently, he is working as an associate professor and practical examiner, paper setter and evaluator at different universities and councils. I would like to request Sir Libin Joseph to please come up on stage for the session.
Good morning, all of you. I hope you are able to main contents which I am going to discuss are policy management framework, sources to raise related policies, and current issues, as well as the new direction for comprehensive basing service sector. Already, Sister Soumi has explained some of the points related with the policies, so I will go a little deep with the particular. So here goes. What is policies? As we are familiar with, policies, procedures, standards, etc. are part of every types of companies, institutions, organizations, etc. for the smooth running. And you are familiar with so many policies and procedures, rules, regulations, etc. which are being there with the hospital as well as nursing colleges. So here we will see that what is this policies and procedures even. Policies and procedures are a necessary part of any profession, institution or organization. They provide a tangible proof of our values and how activities should be carried out within our profession or organization. Without a policy management fully, both works together to complete any activities without deficiencies as well as more effectively. Policy framework, which guides the development of policies and procedures to ensure they are both consistent and user-friendly for employee as well as customers. The goal of our framework is to ensure that policies are appropriately developed, implemented, monitored as well as reviewed regularly across your companies. Policy management framework should also account for changes in an organization working environment, which includes introduction of new or updated legislations, procedures, other standards, community expectations, etc. This means more effective and put us in a better position to achieve organization's mission as well as goals. Here we will going to see some of the terminologies which have been used in this policy framework or policy management framework. What do you mean by policies? Policies is a set of ideas as well as plans that are used as a basis for making decisions, which can be a statement of an organization's principles as well as standards which serve to guide decision making. What do you mean by nursing policies? Of course, these are the policies which are used in different dimensions of nursing field, which can define the goals of nursing profession as well as provide guidance about how to achieve the objectives of institution or organization. What is policy management? It refers to the creation of policies, communication of policies as well as management of the policies and procedures which are implemented by any profession or any organization. What do you mean by policy management framework? It's a set of principles as well as long-term goals that form the basis of making rules as well as guidelines and to give overall direction to planning as well as development of the organization or profession. What do you mean by procedure? Because policies and procedures together comes. We cannot remove policies from procedures or procedure from policies. Procedures clearly gives a step-by-step outline of how to do what actually needs to be done. A good procedure document also gives the reason for doing things in a certain way, that is rational for each step. What do you mean by health policy? These are the policies which are related with the health at different levels. According to WHO, these are the decisions, plans, actions which are undertaken to achieve specific healthcare goals within a society. Some of the principles for policy making or policy framework making. First is uphold the core values, mission, objectives, etc. of the profession. The second is be consistent with the existing professional standards, the laws and rules and regulations which are already been present. We need to complete the laws, rules, regulation, code of practice which are present in the organization. It may be made with the organization, maybe with the government, state or central level, etc. Be guided by the national as well as international best practices. These are the principles to be in mind. The other principles such as be reformed by continuous review as well as improvement, because we cannot hold every principle or policies for a long time because our objectives can be changed or modified. Rules and regulations from the governments or the local bodies can make changes or modification. So we need to modify our policies even. Be developed only where there is a justified need. Without any particular proper justifiable need, we cannot develop or maintain any policies because that will not work. Apply and be binding across the profession. Here comes the policy making cycle. We cannot simply make policies in a day within some hours or minutes. It's needed a lot of works, a lot of days, etc. So we will see that what are the cycles which are needed for or steps which are needed for developing a policy. We need to identify the need of a policy in a profession or organization first. Without the particular or specific need, we cannot start the development of policy at all. The next step is assigning a policy author. Author can be a single person or group of members. Those are working behind the policy making. They will identify the need of policy. They will work on policy framework. They will work on reviewing, modifying, etc. etc. After, they will collect or research data with many of the experts related with the particular topic or particular objectives. Thereafter, they will write the documents. They will write the policies in documents. Then thereafter, they will go for reviewing and approval from the higher authority of the organization or the profession. Then they will distribute the relevant departments or even professional areas. After that, there will be policy acknowledgement. After that, they will go for training and implementation. Training is needed for implementing any policies because what the policy is actually aimed for, what, how, when, etc. has to be explained thoroughly to the person those who are actually needed for maintaining that policy has to be before implementation. After implementing the policies, monitoring continuously, consistently, as well as reporting to the higher authority for any modification, requirements, changes which are needed for the particular policy. And reviewing, modifying is necessary for modifying or up to date with the policies. Here comes nursing policy, some of the sections. Some of the 3 sections are there for nursing policies. The first one is policy hierarchy. As you know that hierarchy, that is a word which is used for step by step, up to down, down to up, etc. Hierarchy lays out the different documentation which defines and governs the activities listed in order of precedence. Next section is policy development process. This is where we define the requirement for creating policies as well as procedure, which includes the policy life cycle, documenting the templates, etc. The third one is policy roles and responsibilities. This clarifies who is involved in the process of developing policies and what they actually do. This also determines who has the authority to approve policies as well as procedures for publication as well as distribution, etc. Here comes types of nursing policies. There are several types of policies which are related to the nursing service, nursing education, maybe related to the health, etc. etc. We will list some of the examples first. Here comes the policy which are related with the nursing services. The first one is communicable disease notification. You are familiar with communicable diseases. While there is a communicable disease at community level, how we need to report, to whom we have to report, etc. There are some policies are there which will be used. The second one is care for patient property. You are familiar with the patient properties to be kept under safe control of the nurse in charge of the ward, etc. etc. That things are. The third is checking emergency trolling. This is another one, emergency trolleys which are used for any emergency condition of the patient has to be checked and replenished every time in order to keep everything up to date as well as fresh. Another policy is incidental reporting, any type of incident which may be medical or non-medical, etc. Next is policy which are related to the needle stick incidents. Policies related with the uncontrolled drugs, the drugs which can be used without any particular or proper restrictions are there. Next is controlled drugs, which are restricted drugs, especially psychiatric drugs, etc. Strong requisitions. storing live vaccines. Next is standard infusion techniques, vascular access devices, dressing protocol, etc. There are so many protocols, so many policies related with these types of procedures. The next is insertion and removal of peripherally inserted central catheter. The next is management for anaphylaxis, chemotherapy as well as blood sets, catheter clearance for venous access devices. Then next is patient care, patient undergoing radiographic as well as imaging studies. Next is policies which are related with the maintenance, policies related with the management of blood group, cross matching, etc. procedures. Next is policies related with the subcutaneous administration of immunoglobulins or any types of medicines. Safe handling of chemotherapy in home, policies which are related to the patient as well as caregiver, control anesthesia, etc. at the home settings. Next is pharmaceuticals or drugs related policies, mental health policies. Next is administration. Next is policies related with the nursing education. These are several policies you may be familiar with as you are students of many institutions or you are already was a student of any of the institution. There will be policies related to the admission procedures to the course, enrollment of the students, graduation, etc. There are some policies which are related to the online or e-learning policies which are new to us and we are practicing these policies since 2-3 years. Next is policies which are used for social media, use, control, etc. of the social media. Clinical nursing skills, the nursing skills which are being performed by the students at clinical or the lab areas. Next is policies which are related with the academics, university policies at different levels for different reasons. Next is ethical behavioral conduct. These are other policies which are related with the students or staff for the maintenance of ethical conduct as well as proper behavior, etc. The next is policies related with the discipline. Discipline is very important in colleges and you need to maintain discipline anywhere, okay, including this workshop. Then policies for grading of students. The next is policies related with the absence of students in colleges, leave, withdrawal from the course, readmission, etc. Next is there are some policies and procedures, etc. for the testing or examinations of students. Next is licensure as well as certification after the course. Here come some of the policies which are related with the nursing administration. This will be applicable in hospital as well as educational settings. First is nursing orientation manual, policies related with the employee health, security and privacy policies, administrative policies, IT policies, management of clinical waste, human resource policies, etc. Here are some of the policies which are actually related with the health at different levels. First one is global health. You are knowing about global health means the health all over the world. Next is public health, that's national level, state level, community level, etc. The next policy is related to the financing, the money matter. Next is policies related to the health equity, equal health beneficiaries for all. Next is insurance related policies, healthcare services, etc. Here come some of the examples in detail. It's not all the examples in detail, very few examples in detail. And remember that these policy steps can be different from profession to profession, sometimes even organization to organization. The first is communicable disease notification. What are the steps of policies or policies what we need to do while there is any communicable disease occurrences are there, to whom we need to notify, how, etc. It should be diagnosed by the consultant in charge with the supporting investigation results if available. Investigation results means maybe lab result, X-ray, etc. Fill the patient particulars in notification form. Notification form must be stamped with the senior sister or in charge and signed by the consultant. It should be notified to the public health inspector and it should dispatch the original copy to the nearby state health office assistant as well as the carbon copy must be kept in the patient file. Next is care for patient property. This is very familiar to you. These are the policies or procedures or steps you are studying while you are going towards the patient or to bring valuable or excessive amount of cash to the hospital by the booking personnel. This we need to explain. If the patient is in the hospital, the patient is notified that the hospital authorities cannot accept any responsibility for money or personal property matters unless it is being handed over to the authorities for safekeeping. Another policy related to this patient properties: record the patient's properties in proper manner. Next is custody of patient properties in a safe manner. It should be received and must be wrapped as well as labeled clearly. Properties collected must be kept under lock as well as key. Properties must be checked and handled over the shift to shift. Then handling over patient the properties upon request, otherwise discharged with proper documentation. In case of death of the patient, the properties belong to the deceased must be surrendered to the immediate relatives and it should be documented. If in cases of loss of property, the nursing staff must inform the nursing in charge, who will inform the PR manager for further investigation and advise the patient to make a police report even. Next is checking the emergency room. This also we are familiar with. This is one which we are used in the emergency department, ICUs, critical care areas, etc. Every day we need to check the emergency trolley at least every shift. Replenish the trolley immediately after each use. Then care of emergency trolley, like checking of the wheels, dusting and cleaning, position, etc. etc. Next is policies which are related with the incident reporting. There are so many incidents are there. Some are clinical incidents directly, some of the things are non-clinical incidents. We will just list out. You are familiar with the words. One is anesthesia event, anything which has happened during the anesthesia, any incident happened during. Surgical events, cardiology event, blood administration event, fall event, medical device, any abnormality with the use of or anything which is happened during the use of the medical devices, etc. Then there are these incidents which are related to the restraints or seclusions, treatment delay, then medical report, nursing care, medication or any other etc. Some of the non-clinical incidents which are usually happen in the hospital side, which includes building and non-building as well as non-medical equipments, interpersonal conflicts, security lapse, administrative error, miscellaneous etc. Here, how we can report an incident? Inform to the doctor or primary consultant as well as inform to the head of department immediately for any type of incident. Obtain and document the immediate observation of patient. We need to continue the monitoring of the patient and make sure that the attending doctor complete the report after attending the patient. Make sure that the treatment which is ordered is carried out accordingly and alert the incident to the investigation team as soon as possible as well as quality assurance department within 1 day. Next is some of the policies which are related with the needle stick incidents because this is very common to our hospital field. We need to perform first aid like squeezing of blood, then wash under running tap, inform the in charge or senior staff as well as infection control nurse, then staff involved to see the medical officer immediately. There should be an incident reporting form that has to be filled up by the person who got this incident with the in charge, inform the infection control doctor, inform for follow-up, etc. Next is related to the stock requisitions. The first point or policy is we need to check the stock in hand as well as balance, fill the request form, send the request form to the storekeeper, receive the stock and check as ordered, keep the stock in respective storage areas, etc. I'm not going to detail with these things because you people are familiar with, isn't it? Next is control drugs. These are the drugs which cannot be given to the patient unless proper specific need as well as advice from the doctors. We need to check the control drugs every shift and need to document in the record book. We need to check the drugs with the expiry date. Remember that if the expiry date is 3 months before due date, we need to sent to the pharmacy for exchange. Passover from shift to shift regarding the drugs which are being used and the amount which are in balance. Then check and receive the balance of all the dangerous drugs in every shift. Keeping and storage of dangerous and psychotropic drugs in a cupboard with double lock all the time. Keep empty ampules for exchange. Any broken or missing dangerous drug ampules that should be reported immediately to the pharmacist. Here comes some of the policies which are related with the storing of live vaccines. You are knowing about live vaccines. The vaccine nursery staff will order in pharmacy with a requisition form. They collect the live vaccines from the pharmacy through a cold chain. They will store the live vaccine in compartments or fridge temperature of 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius. And to check the temperature of the fridge 2 times at least in a day and recording the fridge temperature chart just outside the fridge. If any changes in temperature, the sister in charge must be notified immediately and thereafter to the authorities. All live vaccine is to be disposed after use in a sharp bin. Here comes some of the policies which are related with the disease removal, that means death removal. We need to certify the deaths, explain to the family the time, cause and details of the deaths, discharge the procedures to be completed, arrange according to the family request. We need to perform the last of these in a proper manner according to the culture, belief, religion, etc. of the patient, and inform to the family members to settle down the bill. We need to call for transportation, otherwise we need to tell the patient relatives to arrange that one. Set the deceased body at least by maximum of 2 hours, otherwise indicated. Release the body to the next of kin with the proper documentation. Here are some of the policies which are related with the patient undergoing any imaging studies or radiographic studies. First point is, patient must be informed priorly regarding the procedures, how, what, when, where, the consequences, indication, etc. Complete the request form with a proper signature. We need to send the X-ray department or radiographic room with ward assistant or female attendant. Ensure that all the specific preparations and investigations are carried out accordingly. And we need to send all the previous meetings, reports, etc. with the patient for the subsequent imaging studies or any radiographic evaluations. Ensure that all the female patients are not pregnant before any radiographic examinations. Female patient must be changed to the hospital room, jewelries must be removed, etc. And all patients with IV therapy can be sent to the radiology department on call only. Decide if ill cases need a staff nurse or ward need to accompany. If needed, we need to send. Next policy is obtain history for any indication of allergies. Obtain consent from patient if indicated, and should be encouraged to take plenty of fluid following administration of radio by contrast medium if there is no contraindication. Next is, here these are the policies related with the education. First is admission policies. You are very familiar with the admission policies, with the particular, at least the particular course actually you people are studying. The minimum, here comes the policies for BSc nursing. The minimum age shall be 17 years on 31st of December for the year in which the admission is sought. Minimum education must be 10 plus 2, class passed with the science and English, etc. etc. Then student shall be medically fit, as well as students will be admitted once only in a year. Next is policies related with the e-learning. E-learning, distance learning are very common or familiar nowadays as because of just corona for just 3 years. Okay, and you are familiar with these practices and policies which are with the e-learning as well as distance learning. Video conferencing room must be available for the discussion, exchange of ideas as well as recording of information as the students are learning or getting from the e-learning sources. Should have a quiet as well as comfort environment. Need of supportive team. The supportive team must consist of institution, the teachers, supporters, learners and their even parents. Clear expectations of objectives must be needed for the participants, those who are attending e-learning. Next is discipline policies. These are the policies which are related to the discipline for students those are studying in nursing institutions. The student must follow all the instructions and rules of the college, should arrive at college on time and must inform prior if absent, wear proper and define college uniform, not misuse or damage any property of the college, avoid discriminations which are based on gender, race, age, etc. Should take care of general safety and security of everyone, avoid physical violence against everyone, take care of the building, equipment, property of the college as well as other people, should demonstrate a positive attitude towards study and learning, ask not to disturb the classroom or the learning of even others, and should show respect to all the faculty members even. Students should not use any form of alcohol, tobacco, drugs at college premises, obey the authority, should be prompt and prepared for classes, should stay from any sort of harassment, etc. etc. I think there is no need of explanation as we are familiar with this, isn't it? Here comes some of the sources of policies. Policies are being developed and given by number of institutions, number of agencies, number of governments, etc. etc. Many sources are there. Professional nursing organization, which may be either national or international, such as ICN, INC, American Nurses Association, etc. etc. These all organizations, nursing professional organization, can make and implement number of policies. The next is from Central or States Nurse Practice Act. We know that number of nursing practice acts are being passed by the central or state government. According to the need, they will change or modify a new act will come, etc. etc. Very common example is Indian Nursing Council Act 1947. Next is the policies which are being provided by federal regulators like American Nurses Association. Next is organization or agency policies as well as procedures. These are the policies which are being provided by the profession or the organization or even the agency or institution for their smooth running. Next is constitutional agencies which are usually by the government like Medical Council of India. Next is statutory bodies such as National Commission for Women, National Human Rights Commission, etc. etc. Next is challenges in policy management. Remember that once we make the policies, that's not easy to follow the policies. There are so many challenges in maintaining and reviewing the policies. Here are some of the policy challenges. Remember that change is expected. We cannot say that the policies will remain same because the situations will change. Situation, objectives, need, etc. will change day by day. So we need to change our policies or reform our policies even. We need to follow up with proper training. Proper training is needed for the person, those who are following the policies in order to modify if it is necessary. Next is require attestation as well as annual certifications. We cannot keep the policies for long term or long years. We need to recertify in every year. Next is lack of or inadequate resources, especially in technology, finance, etc. Next is rapidly changing local as well as international legislation. Remember that when legislations are changed, we need to modify our rules, regulations, even policies, etc. Here comes some of the issues related to the nursing policies. The first is policy issues related with the nursing services. First issue is healthcare coverage. Remember that it's not easy to cover all the dimensions of healthcare with very less time, and it is not easy to complete it. Next is healthcare cost. We know that the cost is not easy to maintain because cost will be increasing day by day. The next is socio-cultural barriers, which may make some obstructions to maintenance of these policies. Workplace violences by the patients or the maternal or neonatal mortality rates, which are not in our control. Racism in healthcare still it is exists. Then practice restrictions for the nurse practitioners. There are so many rules, regulations, certification, etc. needed for practicing by the nurse practitioners. The next is recurrent pandemics. This is another issue in order to maintain or follow the nursing policies in healthcare settings. One simple example is Corona. We know that the policy is being changing from 2019, again 20, 21, 23, etc. etc. Next issue is technological advancement as well as digital health. So we need to update with this. Of course, the policy has to be modified. Next is vaccine hesitancy as well as misinformation. This is not that much common, but still it is exists. Even a simple example of COVID-19. Next is advanced technology as well as robotics. This is very common in health settings nowadays. There will be some issues on. Next is some of the policy issues which are related with nursing education. The first one is alignment of nursing practice with theory. This is still a difficult thing or it is not easy thing to mix the alignment with the practice as well as theory. Next is other change in curriculum. The curriculum is being changing according to the need as well as current scenarios. The next issue is research with broader scopes. So many research are being happening in the field of nursing education and the scope is still increasing only. Next is enhancement of faculty development. This is another issue. Next is standard and protocols by the regulatory bodies. Another issue. Next is shift towards online or remote or distant educations. Next is professional as well as career implications. The problems which are related to the career opportunities as well as professional placement, etc. comes in. Next is diversity in the culture of the peoples. Next is economic concerns, especially from the student side. Next is overgrowth of distance learning. Distance learning is now a fashion as well as passion. Okay, and this is another issue. Next is accreditation issues. Accreditation includes like some of the quality control bodies are there, like NABS, QC, etc. Next is, here comes some of the benefits, effectiveness as well as implication of following and maintaining the nursing policies. We'll discuss the benefits. Some of the things have been already discussed or taken in the first session. The first benefit is policy will define the organization mission as well as vision very clearly and it will ensure regulatory compliances. So if we have policies, if we have procedures, standards, etc., then our regulatory compliances will be almost up to date or complete. Next is it give precise direction with the objectives of the institution or organization or profession. Then it will help for affording a competitive edge. It will help to train the personnel. It will improve or upgrade the rights as well as responsibilities. It will increase it or establish the uniformity. It will help for managing the risk as well as reducing the liability. It will protect the organization from litigations which are related to the laws and legislation. It will improve the patient safety. It will improve the internal communication. It will simplify accreditation technologies and process. It will help to function effectively as well as efficiently, etc. There are so many other benefits also. These are the just important benefits. How to manage policies and procedure effectively. If we have a policy or procedure set, it's not easy to have policies will be followed. What are the techniques to be followed in order to manage the policies effectively? The first one is define 6 M's. This 6 M's stands for one is men or women, that means the human resource. Next M is for methods, machines, material, the mother nature, that is environment, as well as measures which we are taken to improve or identify our quality section. The next technique is create a policy management framework which is specific to our unique needs. The next technique is create and implement policy models. We need to have policy models in order to follow them. Next is craft up your policy analysis method. How to analyze policy methods. The next is create a policy on the policies. We call in research terms a meta policy or meta analysis. We will make some policies, how to make and follow the policies which are already being made. Here come some of the applications of the nursing policies, where we can use these nursing policies or what is actually the need or use of it. The first one is advocacy organizations. The organization which are dealing with as a voice for the both medical officials as well as patients in need of government attention. The next application area is government offices, where this will act as leading voice in raising the awareness surrounding the healthcare issues as well as needs. The next application is legislative offices. Here, the policies will help to analyze, adjust as well as create various healthcare policies. Next is, this will help in healthcare organization as well as research firms. That means the healthcare policy aid in the communication of needs as well as findings in order to the leading healthcare change makers. So I hope that you have understood at least some of the points which have been related with. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your illuminating words. Your presence has been very valuable to us today. In an appreciation to the effort taken, I would like to request Sister Stella